Thank you, Caleb. Now I will be introducing the presiding officer, which is also Caleb.
Thank you, Michelle. So, hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well and ready for another exciting meeting at the Future Leaders Gavel Club. My name is Caleb Van Brunt, and it is an honor to be your club president, and I would like to officially call this meeting to order. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all our guests, and we sincerely hope you will enjoy and learn from this experience. The Future Leaders Gavel Club is a Toastmasters club open to middle school and high school students in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. And as you all know, each meeting has three parts: the prepared speech section, table topics or impromptu speaking section, and the evaluation section. So to start our meeting tonight, I would like to introduce the Toastmaster of tonight's meeting, who is Michelle, who will be guiding us through each segment. Michelle, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Caleb. Now, first, I will start the meeting off. Well, it's already started, but let's just say that by introducing the functionaries. So first, can we have the all counter, which is tonight? Ethan, to introduce your role.
Dude, thank you, Michelle. I just swallowed the rice I had in my mouth just in time. Now, to lighten the load on my prefrontal cortex, I will not be the odd grammarian this evening, but just the odd counter. I will be noting words and sounds used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting, again with my extremely sophisticated Google spreadsheet. Words may be inappropriate interjections, such as and, well, but, so, Sounds may be or I will also note when speakers repeat a word. So hopefully my prefrontal cortex won't be as much as on fire as it was the last time I tried this.
Thank you for that explanation of your role. And now we will have Angelina explain the grammarian role.
Thank you, Michelle. As the grammarian of today's meeting, I will be on the lookout for usage of the word of the day.
Is that all? Just like, okay, dude.
I
I'm
think
gonna.
she might have
Oh,
frozen.
sorry.
I think she might have frozen.
Oh, okay, I'll restart. So I'll be looking for uses of the word of the day and any good grammar usage or word usage and awkward usage or misuse of language as well.
Thank you for that explanation, Angelina. And next we would have the timer, but I don't see Nikita in this meeting yet, which is a problem. Hmm. So I'll just skip over to the general evaluator's role, which is Alex, who is also not here yet. Double problem. Do
Okay,
we like
what about Michelle? Maybe you can be the general evaluator for now until Alex hopefully comes tonight.
I think I can do the timer.
And Jonya, since I'm evaluating you, I can time your speech too. So that'll be
Okay.
okay, I
So
can be the
I can be the timer though.
So, Janya, may you please introduce your role?
As the timer, I will be timing everybody's speaking. Wait, I forgot. Could I get some time? I'm sorry. As the timer, I will be timing everybody's speeches and table topics and also the evaluations. I will show green light for wait, where's my background? Just a sec. Green background when you're at the okay time and you can stop. Yellow when you should start to getting to stop your speech, and red to when you have to stop your speech. That is the end. And thank you, and back to you, Michelle.
Thank you for that explanation. And now it's time for the general evaluator, which is me. As a general evaluator, it is what the name implies, an evaluator of anything and everything that takes place during a meeting. The response, oh, I'm not supposed to read that out. But now I will hand control back to myself. And now I will be calling on speaker one, which is William, with the speech college admission anniversary.
Future leaders, do you remember the day when you first walked into your first day of middle or high school? What was it like? Was it a bit scary? Was it exciting? Did you see a lot of new faces? What was it like? Well, I can remember the very first day of my high school experience. The school gathered for an assembly. The SBHS Tigers cheered and roared throughout the different student sections. I was completely agape. I didn't know that high school could be such an exhilarating experience. And I remember some of the seniors that year, so self-motivated, knowing that they were going to graduate one day. And maybe in my freshman self, I knew that too. But that reality never occurred to me until when the years slowly passed and I matured into the person I am now. In respect and in retrospect, I'd like to share some of my own advice as right now a high school senior into some of the things that I've noticed within college applications and the whole process, and possibly give you some more hope about what you might hope to do when you're at that phase of life, applying for college and getting ready to turn the page to the next chapter of your life. First, future leaders, I would like to go over some of my own experiences. When I was a freshman, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew that I had a vague concept of what I wanted to study. I knew I wanted to go into STEM. I knew my career goal was a pediatrician or a child doctor, but I didn't really know how to get there. But I kept an open mind and I explored different campus organizations. I joined the school science club. I tried out for the science Olympiad team. But on top of that, it wasn't just finding things that I was passionate in, it was also a matter of finding things that I could be challenging myself in. For example, during middle school, I hated running. When our PE coach told us to get on the track and to run 2 laps, I always was the second to last kid running that little course. And guess who was the last person on the track? Well, he unfortunately couldn't even run. So I knew I was going to be challenged by the experience of running on a competitive sports team, but yet I stepped up to take the challenge. Future leaders, when life presents you with an opportunity, you can look at it as an adversity or you can look at it as an opportunity. And when you come to those crossroads, truly do look into the side that motivates you more. That is looking at the silver lining, the opportunity in every situation. That leads me to my first point in overcoming the college admissions adversity. That is the process of self-reflection. Writing my essays has been a great hurdle for me. I just recently finished my personal statement, and I'm in the process of drafting one of many college supplementals. It seems like an exhausting process, which it absolutely is. But at the center of it, future leaders look at it as a learning experience. And who are you learning about? You may ask. You are learning about yourself. College essays are designed to help you to look into yourself. Who are you as a person? Why should we consider you as a student? And what makes you stand out? When answering such a question, it's so incredibly important to look back on your experiences. Look back on those 4 years of high school or 3 years of high school, depending on where you live. And throughout those 3 or 4 years, pick out those shining spots, those moments where you felt that exhilaration, that pride, and that confidence. Moving on to my second point. In middle school, I was always so afraid to ask for help. When I wasn't doing well in my math class, the only thing that would get me to ask the math teacher for help was if I did poorly on a test. But I started realizing in high school that if you face adversity, you must ask for help. There will always be people who are willing to provide their advice, as I am right now. And that advice, future leaders, sets you on a sailboat that not only sails far, but will take you all over the world. The same principle applies to college applications. When you are filling out those application forms, when you are asking for letters of recommendation, when you are drafting those college essays, it is so incredibly important that you ask for help. Well, where can you ask for help from? Most high schools have have school counselors. Those counselors will know a thing or two about how the admissions process works. They would be happy to help you look over some of your application materials and possibly even write you a great letter of recommendation. Meanwhile, you can also ask trusted friends and family to review your writing supplements. You write in one specific style, in one manner. But who knows? Maybe introducing a new perspective can help to refine those very words that would have come out of your mouth. How can you structure your essay and fit it to the needs of the schools you're applying to? You must ask for help and do your research on the institutions you are applying for. And finally, my last point is to start early. One thing I learned in high school and middle school was that you have to precrastinate. Get it, future leaders? Not procrastinate, precrastinate. Get things done way ahead of their deadline. Right now, I am pushing my early action and early decision supplements. I have 3 weeks. You do not want to be stuck on October 31st, Halloween, writing your supplementals to those schools, future leaders. Start early. It will serve you well. And this ties back into those first two principles of asking for help and self-reflection. If you procrastinate, you're not going to be able to find anyone to help you at that last moment. If you procrastinate, you're not going to be able to foster deeper self-reflection and look deep into your experiences. Future leaders, these are just 3 small tips that I've picked up on while combating my own adversity, or should I say, my opportunity in the college applications process. And as you progress through middle or high school or whatever schooling institution that you attend, keep in mind that there is a whole new chapter of life waiting in front of you, and you decide how you lead that life. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Michelle. Toastmaster Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you, William, for your speech. It was full of advice that I'm sure that all of us could use. But now we will be moving on to Janya's speech, which is called Life Better Than Death.
Oh yeah. Just a second. Let me get the timer on. Yeah. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh wait. Oh, sorry about that. Life moves on, and time never stops, and soon comes the end. Good evening, fellow Gaveliers and Toastmasters. Today we have gathered to explore a profound question that has intrigued humanity for centuries. Is life better than death? This question touches the very core of our existence and invites us to reflect on the values and meaning of life. When I was in grade 3, I was bullied, but it isn't a great deal now, but it was a great deal then. And then soon I have realized that people are struggling to gain jobs and to gain more money or to live in the world. Seeing all this sometimes makes me wonder or ask the question, is life better than death? Life is a precious gift. It offers us opportunity to enjoy experiences, love, and growth. Every moment we live is a chance to learn, to connect with others, and to make a positive impact on the world. Life is filled with possibilities and has potential for happiness. It is through living that we can persuade our dreams and overcome challenges and find meaning and purpose of our lives. Death, on the other hand, is often shrouded in mystery and fear. It represents the unknown, the final border or the line that we all must cross and reach. While some view death as a release from suffering, the others see it as the end of our experiences. The fear of death can sometimes overshadow the beauty of life and makes us ask the question its values. A philosopher like wait Socrates and Epicurus have offered different viewpoints on this topic. Socrates believed that death should not be feared, as it is either a peaceful nothingness, or it is a transition to another form of existence. Epicurus argued that death is not to be feared because when we are alive, death is not present, and when death is present, we are not alive to experience it. In conclusion, whether life is better than death is a deeply personal question. It depends on our experiences, beliefs, and values. Life offers us a chance to experience growth and to leave a legacy. Death can be seen as a natural part of our life, of our journey, until it is up to each of us to find the meaning and the purpose in our lives. Thank you, and back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Janya, for that speech about death. And now we will be moving on to the table topic session, which is led by Claire. So I'll hand control to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Michelle. Today, we are going to do something extraordinary. Imagine that you have just been given the power to create your own world from scratch. You have no limits, no rules, and just your plain pure creativity. So each question will guide you all to invent or explain different aspects of your new world. Would it be some kind of peaceful land, or would chaos be supreme? So without further ado, let's get inventing. My first question will go to Rachel. Rachel, your question is, imagine the animals in your world are not like Earth's animals. What kind of creatures live there and what makes them special? Rachel, take it away.
In my world, the animals, well, they're not what you would expect. They are nothing like anything you've ever seen before. The closest thing to Earth's animals that is in my world is a creature called a bookcock, which is like a chicken, but it's not related to the chicken at all. Most of the animals there are very strange creatures, like this tall stick-like creature called an obus. Obuses that fool you into thinking everything, primarily meat, and they would eat any visitor that comes into this world, including humans. So whenever I visit my world, I make sure to stay away from them because I do not trust them, and it would be unwise to trust them. Another noteworthy animal in my world is called an ufu, and it's a slimy green blob that um that likes to destroy whatever it touches. And it's surprisingly strong for a blob creature. And as soon as it touches something, it'll crumble to pieces. And this goes for objects, plants, and living things. So I would stay away from the UFOs too. And the third animal um that's in my world is a rather innocent creature called an Elsie, and it's a very meek little creature, and you could practically hold it in your hand. It doesn't have fur, it has scales, but these are soft scales, so the Nelsies are very fun to pet, and I'd say that's the only animal in my world that's actually safe. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Rachel. I love all of these strange creatures. Bookcocks, UFOs, Nellies, they're so interesting, and I'm sure you have so many other fascinating creatures in your world as well. Okay, my next question will go to Michelle. Michelle, in your world, do people have a favorite food or drink? What is it and why is it so popular? Michelle, take it away.
Well, in my world, imagine this. You're transported into a beautiful world filled with beautiful skies. Okay, David, get out. Filled with beautiful, colorful hills of different colors, light pink, pastel blue, etc., etc. But these humans, they seem strange. They don't have favorite foods or drinks. They just eat. Eat whatever they can find.
So you're telling me
David, get out. David, no.
Hey, no,
David, stop. Okay, hold on. Where was I? Now these people, they just eat whatever they find. They apparently they have the metabolism to consume anything, including these things.
Bro, better stop capping.
David, shut up. It's my imagination. It's my story. It's my story.
Yeah.
Okay, David. They can eat anything and drink anything, including salty water. That's weird.
I mean, I do it also on survival missions.
Now, they can eat anything, but I think that they had some traditional meal. They have this weird gooey, disgusting goo that they eat.
Yo,
They
roasting me for my nukalugas.
Yeah, whatever. They're okay. These things, they call it oobleck. Now, oobleck from our human world is a disgusting substance that I would never, ever, ever want to touch.
What's oobleck?
But apparently, in this world, it's a traditional meal.
It's luxurious.
It's dyed to be different colors, like blue, purple, and different other colors.
And rainbow.
David. Oh my God. But that's all. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Michelle. A world where we can eat or drink anything seems like a wonderful superpower. Okay, my next question goes to Ethan. Ethan, what role does technology play in your world? Is it highly advanced or do people live without it?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not exactly sure if the technology in that place could even be called technology. Rachel is this because it's not like it's unlike any other technology that humans have invented and that any aliens could plausibly invent according to the type N civilization categorization system that I'm aware exists. And I forgot who it is named after because it is named after a certain astronomer who first proposed it in the 1900s. It goes from type 1 all the way to type 7. This civilization has a technology that can really not be classified by any type because it is at once extremely primitive and also extremely advanced. Don't ask me how that happens. Here are some of the interesting things that they have in this world. They have square blocks of wood with a 3x3 grid imprinted on the top. You place raw materials into this 3x3 grid and strike it with a hammer to transmutate them into more complicated objects. And I'm sure you get what this is referencing. They have an extremely heat-resistant variety of stone that can be hollowed out and constructed into a furnace that can withstand temperatures of several thousand degrees Celsius. How do I know? Because these furnaces can smelt, well, not smelt, but rather boil at least 875 liters of water, all to water vapor, in just 15 seconds, which, according to my calculations, requires at least several gigawatts of thermal power. That is a lot, by the way. That is on the order of how much power 100,000 average American households consumes annually. So it is a big number. But then again, the laws of physics here don't work as you'd expect. Electricity and magnetism, bah, forget about it. Who the hell cares about Gauss's law? Who the hell cares about Ampere's law? Who the hell cares about del dot B equals 0? We don't even have magnetic fields in this universe. Instead of actual magnetic fields, we just have simple generators that can push and pull iron blocks forwards and backwards, which is actually not possible in real life. And instead of electricity, we have redstone power. And instead of quantum mechanics, we have ender technology. And instead of computers, we have some sort of unknown we have some also some unknown technological things in here. I'm not exactly sure how you characterize them, but some of the organisms that Rachel described in her world building exposition sounded a lot to me like SCPs, and we all know that SCPs use technology that man has not been able to explain with science yet. So pardon me if I am not able to give that much information on this technology, but nobody really knows what it does yet. Back to you, Claire.
Wow, Ethan, sounds like a crazy experience. I'm sure we're all curious to see how that technology plays out in your world. All right, and my next question goes to Caleb. Caleb, if you could invite one person from Earth to visit your world, who would it be and why would they be the perfect guest? Take it away, Caleb.
If I could invite one person from Earth to my universe, who would it be? Would it be the latest celebrity or a former president of a country, or perhaps an just interesting influencer? Well, perhaps none of these at all, because time, time, time length apart, considering that this universe of mine does not conform to the modern laws of physics, and that a time warp would be possible, which means that time could go forward and backwards, which means that I could bring anyone from Earth, from any point of history, to my particular universe. I would probably choose someone like Jesus, because someone like Jesus would bring not only morality, but it would bring order and structure to this particular universe of mine. However, this automatically created some big theological difficulties because technically their universe has to be fallen and in need of a savior in order for Jesus to come and rescue them. But if this particular universe of mine is perfect, then there is essentially no need for anyone to rescue. Therefore, unless this universe of mine has fallen under a particular curse and is in not proper order or function due to this particular curse, then I would invite Jesus. But if not, I would probably choose myself. Actually, no, I can't do that because I'm already in the universe. I would probably choose someone who will bring order and structure, who actually would be no one better than Jesus. So that is my response. Thank you, and back to you, Claire.
Wow, Caleb, what a deep and bold answer. So inquisitive, Jesus or Jesus. Okay, and my next question goes to William. William, imagine a conflict or problem your world is facing. How do the people of your world solve it? Take it away, William.
All worlds are not perfect. They were not meant to be, nor do we embody that perfect ideal of what we strive to be. And therefore, in our universe, this is not the case. On this strange, strange planet where strange, gooey creatures reside, there's a very peculiar species of human that has perhaps gotten there by some space-time warp, maybe several millennia ago. And they engaged in the exact same ideals and the same environmental destruction as what we see on our planet now. And as the human race expanded across the planet, different societies formed with their own cultures, their own kings, their own presidents. And slowly, these societies decided to take advantage of the natural resources and built machinery for, you guessed it, war. 200 years of conflict ensued, with mass slaughterings on both sides, atrocious war crimes, until finally a great diplomat from the nation of Ergablurg decided to mediate the conflict. His resolution was that the human race on the planet was so deeply divided that they forgot about their common roots as humans. And in order to protect themselves from the mysterious and often dangerous wildlife on their planet, they had to form a global defense pact. Even worse, they were fearing an invasion by the sentient human species on planet Earth, thousands of light years away. So, in order to solve this problem, they decided to come together as one united global defense pact, and therefore they were able to foster intercultural dialogue. And from then on, the problem of conflict was solved through arbitration and peace talks. Thank you, and back to you, Table Topics Master Claire.
William, after hearing your speech, I went to listen to the full story of your new world's history. My next question goes to Eliana. Eliana, what is the weather like in your world, and how does it influence the lives of its inhabitants? Take it away, Eliana.
In my universe, I'd say the weather is about the same as here, but to its inhabitants, it functions in very different ways. First of all, the farmers, they only grow crops that don't like rain. So when it rains, they build tents over them to stop the rain from getting on the plants and killing them. Then, um, when it's sunny, they remove the tents and let the plants sink, let the plants take in the sun. Then, um, in the snowy mountains, uh, snow, uh, snow falls a lot, and the people use snow to build most of their buildings and to create their belongings and their modes of transportation. They they use the snow to mold buildings and their walls, and then they use the snow to skate along the roads and to get places. That's what the weather is like in my universe. Thank you.
Thank you, Eliana. We're so glad to see how, despite the varying weather, people can still use it to their advantage. All right, and then my last question will go to Janya. Janya, how do people in your world travel from place to place? Is there a unique form of transportation? Take it away, Janya.
In my world, there are no roads. They're only forests filled with trees and beautiful creatures. So there's not typically a way to go and to transport. So I have created gigantic, um, gigantic, gigantic flying drones that can place people on top of it. And it has a remote control which has several buttons, one for moving forward, one for moving back, and one for and several other to move. And it also has a lot of features like a camera, which an actual drone has. It has headlights. It has a cap that protects the person, and it can fit up to 10 people in it. It also has a few special features which shows you which location you're at, because it is tough to locate yourself in the world because it is filled with trees and creatures. And that's it. Thank you, and back to you, Claire.
Wow, thank you, Janya, for sharing such interesting transportation. All right. And then lastly, I might call on one more person, Hillary. And your question is, in your world, how do people communicate? Is it through language, gestures, or something completely different?
In my world, people will communicate through all things. People will talk in their language. They will use symbols when they have to, and they will also use gestures if somebody is too far away to hear them or see what they're writing down. If somebody is deaf, then they will
Am
probably
I the only person who can't hear anything she's saying?
Hillary, maybe just try to raise the volume of your microphone just a little bit. So right now I can't really distinguish the words. It might just be something really simple. I'm not sure if it will. Hmm. Still not sure if I can. Still not sure if I can hear you. Can anyone else hear Hillary?
No.
Okay.
It's as if she is trying to talk to us while standing on top of a mountain.
I can barely hear the words. Maybe Hillary, if you click on the arrow above the mute button and then just clicks test speaker and microphone, and there's also some sliders that you can move, and that can also help move up your. I'm not sure if that will work.
Can you hear me now?
That's a little better.
So in my world, people will communicate through language, gestures, and symbols. So they can communicate to each other through their language. And if they need to use symbols, they will grab a piece of paper and write what they're trying to say down. And if somebody is too far away,
I still can't make out what she's saying.
Hillary, maybe you want to. Would you like to maybe just try speaking really loud into your microphone? If you're using a headset, maybe bring down the microphone. But if not, we can just hold off and you can do it next week and maybe figure out the audio situation. Just let us know. Whatever you do. Okay, so Claire, I think you can take it away.
All right, thank you, Hillary, for sharing. And then next, I'll just pass it back to our general evaluator of the day, Michelle.
Yay, it's my turn to speak. I don't want to speak. My brother's here being annoying. But now I will. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm gonna call on the speech evaluator one. Rachel, take it away.
William, when I first heard that you were going to be like talking about college application related stuff, I immediately thought that's very relatable because on this very day, I was working on college apps, letters of rec, all that stuff. So I think it was a very good topic, and many of us can find it relatable. And I like how you opened up your speech with a question because that made me think and that made us all think. And it also made us wonder what you were going to say next. And I like how you opened up with lots of descriptive language and then went into your topic. And I think the 3 points you mentioned were very clear and they were very good tips. And um, I think you gave really good advice, and I like the play on words with the precrastinate. And not only was that a good play on words, it's good advice because we can all learn a lot from that and other parts of your speech. One suggestion I have is a bit related to the structural aspect because some transitions, like from talking about high school experience and like how you changed over time, like transitioning from that to essays and then to how it's okay to ask for help. Well, the transition felt a little bit messy, but as the speech went on, I was able to understand the structure more. Overall, I think you did a really good job, and I think this is a speech we all needed to hear. And as a side note, you used a wide variety of vocabulary and gestures, and I thought that was pretty good. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel, for that evaluation of William's speech. And now we will be moving on to Caleb's evaluation for Janya's speech.
Thank you, Michelle. Janya, congratulations on a great speech. My evaluation will focus on what you did well, what you can improve on, and what you can challenge yourself with. First off, congratulations, you stood up, and I think it made a big difference in your speech. I was able to witness your great hand gestures in which you were really using your hands to convey your message. I also liked the great choice of topic, and throughout your speech, you use things like rhetorical questions and quotes to support your point of view. So lots of great points on what you did well. Now, for what you could possibly improve, I noticed that sometimes your eye contact was perhaps a little low, so maybe just try looking more at the camera. Sometimes it can be awkward looking at the camera when you see the screen and everyone is on the screen, so you're thinking that you're looking at the camera, but you're actually not. So make sure you're looking at the camera for the speech. Also, this is more about the structure of the speech, but if you are comfortable, at the beginning of the speech, you mentioned how during third grade, you experienced some kind of bullying. And if you're welcome sharing about that, you can explain how that particular instance impacted your views on this topic. Maybe just elaborate a little bit more. And plus, stories are always good to include in speeches because they help to bring the audience closer to you and make it more personal. And lastly, to challenge you, I would challenge you to end on a strong point. So for example, you ended on the point that, oh, it's basically up to you and up to your beliefs. But instead, perhaps think about maybe sharing what does it mean to you and why. And this will pretty much just share your viewpoint instead of just trying to share many different viewpoints, which is good. And if that's your purpose of the speech, that's great as well. But if your purpose is to share what it means to you and what that definition is to you, then you can definitely share that. And it will be a great, strong conclusion to your speech. However, I have to say that your speech was definitely very high quality and you've made great progress. And congratulations once again on standing up. I think that's going to be a key factor in continuing this progress, and keep it up. And I would love to hear your next speech. Thank you. And back to you, General Evaluator Michelle.
Thank you for that evaluation about Janya's speech. And now I will be handing control to the all counter, which is Ethan.
Hey, thank you, Michelle. We actually did quite well this evening. None of the cells in my spreadsheet have more than 4 check marks. Exactly one has exactly 4 check marks. Most of them have either 1 or 2. Speaker 1, William, 1 repeat, You did very well there. And also, your speech was very prescient because not even 10,000 seconds ago, I was finalizing my MIT application. Speaker 2, Janya, had one repeat, and I added a new category called the stutter, which is different from the repeat, but she had one of those. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I didn't catch anything for the table topics master Claire. Table topic speaker 1, Rachel, had 4 and 1 repeat, and those 4 are the most check marks in any single cell out of any cell on the spreadsheet for this meeting. Table topic speaker 2, Michelle, 1 repeat. Table topic speaker 3 was myself. And as you probably all know, there's a long-standing problem of bias when trying to count yourself in matters like this. I counted 2 although take that with a grain of salt because it was probably at least 33% larger than that. Table topic speaker 4, Caleb, 1 pause. Table topic speaker 5, William, you did substantially better. Actually, no, you did better in your speech, but you had 3 stutters, so they're comparable. Never mind. Ignore my adjectives. Table topic speaker 6, Eliana, had 1 1 repeat, and 1 pause. Table topic speaker 7, Janya, had 1 and 1 repeat. Then we have evaluator 1, Rachel, who had 2 and 1 like, 1 repeat. And tabletop, I did it again. Evaluator number 2, Caleb, 1 repeat. So Caleb actually did really well. I only have 2 check marks for him this whole meeting. And as for myself, I should probably stop losing brain cells so much. Back to you, General Evaluator Michelle.
Thank you for the all counter reports. Now we will have the grammarians report by Angelina.
I think overall we did really well in this meeting. So I didn't notice anything specific for the Toastmaster Michelle. For William's speech, I noticed that you kind of started a bit at the college and then you switched to school counselors part. I think you could probably replace that with advisors or mentors, because those words are really similar to school counselors. And you had a lot of good phrasing. One example is just when life presents an opportunity, you can look at it as an adversity or as an opportunity, and you use silver lining as well. One thing I would say, maybe change look at to perceive to make it sound more formal, but that's it really. And I think your usage of the word procrastinate was also very creative. For Janya's speech, you had a couple of ums, but that was all the awkward grammar that I noticed. You also had some good phrasing like intrigued and the very core of our existence, which I thought was a very good phrase. You also said fear of death can overshadow the beauty of life, which I think is also phrased really well. For Claire, I didn't notice anything specific, no awkward grammar, and I didn't really notice any good phrasing either. For Rachel, I think you were very descriptive, like when you said slimy green blob. I think that was good use and good phrasing. For Michelle, you had a few disruptions, but I didn't notice any good phrasing. For Caleb, I didn't notice any awkward grammar or simple words either. For Ethan, oh, I think that's the wrong order, but for Ethan, I like that you used a fact that it was the amount of thermal energy that 100,000 households use, which was a very good comparison to use for your topic. For William's table topics response, I like the phrase, nor do we embody that perfect ideal of what we strive to be, which I think is really powerful phrasing. For Eliana, you had a little repetitiveness, and one thing that you could change when you said get places, I think it would be better to replace that with travel, which it just sounds better in sentences than get places. For Janya, you said a lot a few times. I would probably change that to many or several. And I liked your phrasing of beautiful creatures. And I didn't notice anything specific for the evaluators either. Oh, and no one used the word of the day, which I think I forgot to mention. So that's my fault, but okay, sorry. Back to you, Michelle.
Thank you for that grammarian's report. And now we will be handing it to the timer, which is Janya.
Can you hear me? Okay. So speaker number 1, William got 8 minutes 50 seconds, which is overtime, but I think it's okay. I got 3 minutes and 50 seconds, which is it was pretty less. I could have increased more, but yeah. Michelle got coming to the table topics. Table topic speaker 1, 3 minutes 30 seconds, which is I think it was overtime, but it was mostly because of my background. I'm sorry, I just messed up a little bit. And table topic speaker 2, Michelle got 2 minutes 14 seconds. Ethan, 3 minutes, which was 1 minute overtime, but it's okay. Caleb, 2 minutes 2 seconds. William, 2 minutes 32 seconds. Eliana, 1 minute 40 seconds, which was really good. And I had 1 minute 37 seconds. Coming to the evaluations, speech evaluator 1, Rachel had 2 minutes 13 seconds. I think it's good. And speech evaluator 2 had Caleb had 2 minutes 28 seconds, which is also good. And the counter, Ethan, had 1 minute 44 seconds. And the grammarian, Angelina, had 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Thank you, and back to you, Michelle.
Okay, now it is time for my report. Okay, so let's do evaluation of the functions. First, for Ethan, the all counter, I had nothing. Same with the timer, Janya. But for the grammarian, Angelina, I just wanted to add that she gave advice for William's speech, which I think is nice. David, oh my God. Now, a brief commentary on the prepared speeches. William's speech, I think it was that is a great speech, and you provided not only a story, but advice for all of us. And it talks about how we can pass school and how to look at work in different perspectives. And I'm not the counter or grammarian, but I heard stuttering at some points. But in general, the speech was structured good and will definitely be useful for us Gavaliers. And for Janya's speech, it started off strong with the greeting to us, which is addressing us, which is good if you didn't know. And she used evidence to support her claims, such as quotes, etc., etc. Now, to evaluate the speech evaluators, Rachel's evaluation, it started off with talking about how relatable it was to us Gavaliers, and that's all I got. And for Caleb, it talks about how she used points to help her claim. Well, that's the shortened part. And now, time for my final evaluation of this meeting as a whole. The table topic prompts were funny and entertaining to listen to, so good job for Claire for doing that. And I apologize for the start of the evaluation section where my brother threw something.
How the infinite cube.
He threw something and it broke. And it broke, but he fixed it. So that's my evaluation. And as the Toastmaster and General Evaluator, I will be handing it to the presiding officer, Kayla.
Thank you, Michelle. And that's a happy ending to the story, that your brother was able to fix what he had broken. And actually, that is a very important principle. For example, in medicine, you are not supposed to do surgery on anything that you can't fix. So that's a pro tip for you to know. That's probably might come up someday if you ever become a surgeon. So now, congratulations again, everyone, for such a great meeting tonight. I want to thank everyone who participated, William, Janya, etc. Also, great table topic session, Claire. I really enjoy the prompts. And Hillary, thank you for answering the table topics question. And I believe that it is the action that counts and the fact that you open your microphone and answer the question. I think that's very important. So well done, Hillary. Also, well done to all the table topics respondents tonight. I enjoyed your zeal in describing a new universe. Zeal, or actually zealous, but zeal is a variant of zealous, so it's okay. Everyone's zeal contributed to a zealous meeting tonight. So remember, everyone, to please invite your friends to participate in the FLGC so they can also experience the growth that all of you have been experiencing. And speaking of participating in things, this Sunday, October 13th, from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, William is going to be competing at the USA Gavel Club's North American Table Topics competition. So if you are available, the link will be sent out in the agenda email, and definitely come and watch William compete. And it's going to be a great experience because you could get to see the different styles of many different speakers from all over America. And of course, the main reason is to support William. So William, we're rooting for you, and hopefully you win, but if not, it'll be a great learning experience for everyone. So before we officially adjourn the meeting, does anyone have any questions, comments, or feedback about the meeting tonight? If so, please just open your mic and share your thoughts. Right, anything going once? Going twice? All right. So if no one has any questions, comments, or feedback at 7:02 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I would like to officially adjourn this meeting. So thank you everyone for coming to the meeting tonight, and have a great rest of your week, and we will see everyone back here next Wednesday.